Real light, real spirit that is in that light is real energy. Okay? And that's why when I was a child, get real, GET, General Electric, get real, General Electric. A spirit in a 40-watt GE bulb, BU. So one of the things that spiritual initiates or spiritual students or learners or teachers, it's when you're one and the same, which means you're the student and the teacher at the same time. That's called self-directed learning, which is self-directed mirror. What are we learning and how fast are we learning in our mirror? What best serves our mirror with other mirrors, right? Real light mirrors and fractured light, or if you will, finite light, or if you will, artificial light. So it's easy to know the difference because you're measuring the speed of the electrons, the accelerator. So you know that fake light or finite light doesn't run faster than eternal light or eternal fire that's on fire to create. That's basic log scale. Logging in, logging out, logging in, logging out. Gaia's logos, log operating system. Right? Log on, log off, log on, log off. The light is always on. Okay. Real light, which is a real spirit. So I'll share an experience that I've done before, and I know that I've probably shared this before, but it's how spiritual energy communicates with another spirit, because it's the spirit that is in the energy that is the communication from the soul. So when I was in Reno, Nevada, okay, I decided that since you're in the healing business, one of the easiest ways to really ignite your fire is when you are choosing the intention of your spirit with your energy that is in that light, which is what love is, it goes on forever, to hook up with another higher octave being or the soul led by its spirit, the spirit that is in that energy. So I went to a site where it was listing inmates, people who've been incarcerated. So I'm if you go back and look at the history of the native Indians, you realize they never had sheriffs with badges, okay? They didn't have cops. They didn't have cages that they put people in or animals in. Right? In other words, no collars, no leashes, no cages. You could observe that with the way that they lived on the plains. They're different. Why are they different? Go ask them. See what you can learn through them. So now, I'm not going to do the history on that because that's already all out there, right? And why they're coming together, we're all coming together in spirit. Bring the spirit out, the living spirit. So with this particular case, I went onto a website looking for prison inmates, females, right? And I was looking for different females, okay? So I was looking for if you will, a native Indian, someone of native descent, particularly South America, Latin America, right? So now we're into Ecuador, Peru, all the native tribes that are down through there. So I found a girl on there. Her name is Cristina Gonzalez. That's her real name, okay? She was in a California penal colony, PE, physical education colony, Parasite, that's what, those are corporates. Their prison systems are corporations, corpus, which means they're infected. So they want to put beings as a result of the trauma that they've suffered as a child, because she suffered an enormous amount of trauma and was abused. Okay, so you know that what that leads to, right? Self-abuse. So when you're self-abusing yourself, it gets noticed by the things that you do that they make illegal, because they know that's what's going to happen to you, because they're the ones that are traumatizing you, which is how they get you on the front end and knock you down, which is to degrade your spiritual energy, right? In order to consume the essence of your spirit and eat the soul, which means it's gone. Now we'll put it in a box and it becomes food later. So you can trace that to the Anunnaki and their Kleist. So in this particular case, when I saw that she was of Mexican descent, right, I'm thinking, okay, I can tell by looking at her because she had a picture up there that she has, if you will, Latin American or spiritual tribal descent of some sort. Okay. So what happened was, as I sent her, I decided, okay, she had an address that you could send a letter to her. So I sat locked up I shouldn't say locked up. You're lost in time. When you're experiencing true love, which is unconditional love, because you're experiencing how powerful the energy is, that you're experiencing what you are in living spirit that is in that light, the purification of that much fire, which is that much energy, is not going to translate itself with that much energy, okay, that you can ever put on a piece of paper and communicate it to her for her to be able to experience that much energy. It's impossible, okay? So what I did is I took out a binder and it's called freestyle writing. The spirit is free to communicate how pure that love is. And I just kept writing and I kept writing whatever was coming out, whatever flows, whatever naturally flows. And that becomes what's called a musical, harmonic, spiritual musician, which becomes the magic. It's the magic of an original musician, which is the sound. So this energy is coming out of my heart and on my soul onto this paper in spirit. So the spirit is communicating through the purification of the energy that is coming out on that paper. And I kept writing and I kept writing as if there was no clock, there was no time. There was only this energy that wanted to commute. The spiritual energy that I use to communicate with another girl's heart. So the spirit that is in her is going to experience what is essentially a conversion. Because the spirit that is in her, no matter what's happened to her, the spirit that is within her energy field is going to experience the spiritual energy that is being communicated to her. The spirit that is within her will realize that that is pure light, which is pure unconditional love that is communicating to that spirit. That spirit will begin to awaken because now it's experiencing the energy of that communication. She experienced the energy in spirit of that communication. Now the spirit acknowledges the law of one. The spirit remembers no time, only what love is. She was experiencing the love that was being communicated to her because she was experiencing that in spirit. Her spirit was experiencing the spiritual energy of the communication. So she wrote a letter back to say that she gets letters all the time wanting what? Her sexual energy. They feed on the flower because of the amount of reproductive energy that a birth giver has within her, which is creation, which is a spiritual energy of a goddess. Okay. So what happens is she's experiencing through me the love that was being given to her unconditionally because she didn't know me from blow. All she was doing was reading a letter in words, and it was 126 pages and took me 2 days of almost from the moment I started, I just never stopped till I got tired in the middle of the night and I thought I'll go to sleep. When I got up in the morning, I continued until I knew that was enough. So she sent me a letter back and she said, I get all these letters from all these guys coming on to me, pornography, how all that works. She said, your letter was the only letter I kept. And she kept that letter and she would always refer to that letter. She would tell me later on because it's the energy that is in that communication that she's experiencing that reboots her because of the location in which she experiences being in a cage with other caged spiritual beings. So that was a way for her to be able to experience that energy, because she knows what that energy represents. And she came into that prison as a result of the abuse as a child that led to self-abuse through drugs, and how she ended up in there as a result of stealing a car. Now we're back to the poverty of the mind, which is the poverty of the energy as a result of energy harvesters. That's what they do. They harvest living spirits, the essence of living spirits. These are evil spirits that consume the essence of living spirits that are beautiful to be with. That's why they're dead. That's what dead light is. That's what happens, and that's how an AI is made manifest, to become dead light instead of what we are, which is living light. Have a great day. I love you.